the importance of having a team coming up right now. One of the crucial aspects of being successful as a first-generation wealth creator and a working-class wealth creator is how do you create wealth in your spare time? You can do your own research, take it upon yourself to learn as much as you can, but you really need to have a team behind you. It's the importance of the team. Now, who are the players on this team? First of all, you need a finance broker. Now, finance brokers don't cost you anything. They're paid by the bank, but they work for you to find you the best deal. Being aware, though, that they are limited. They're only going to find you deals where they'll be paid a commission. So you want to have them disclose what banks they work with and ensure that's kind of a wide scope. Because sometimes you'll have what they call mortgage brokers. It'll work for the bank, or the bank has a mortgage consultant that helps you. It's not going to be limited products. You want somebody who works with a wide range of banks, at least the top 4 or 5 banks, as well as a range of savings and loans, credit unions. Yeah, ask them some questions about how do they get paid, because you ensure that that's a wider scope. You have to have a good relationship with them. Everybody on my team has to be a property investor themselves, so they understand what I'm trying to achieve and we can speak the same language. This is very important because a lot of mortgage brokers are doing residential mortgages, and when you get into the investment line, there's a lot of different products and there's different strategies and things like that. So if you have a mortgage broker who is a property investor, he'll have a better understanding himself. So it's a key component. That's essential for anybody on my team. They need to be a property investor themselves. An accountant, you need an accountant to keep you on track. I do a lot of my own research through reading and magazines and talking to people. I hear about accounting procedures and things that you can do to save on tax and tax strategies and things like that. Instead of trying to do them myself, I run that through my tax accountant. Also, I've got 2 tax accountants, one in the States who I never sit down with. I send him the documents, he does it. I really don't know what he's going. I don't have a lot of activity over there, so it doesn't really matter that much. But here in Australia, I have a lot of activity, and I sit down with my accountant every quarter and get all my paperwork up to date. He puts everything on the computer, all the expenditures, income, the quarterly. So by the time we come to the end of the year, my taxes are basically done already. But we can always adjust things as we go along, and this gives me a face-to-face time with him where I can ask him questions. And if I read about some accounting strategy, I can run it to him. And he's quite honest with me. Sometimes he's not aware of them, and if he's not, he goes and looks it up himself. And the next time we meet, we talk about that. I do my own sort of books, collecting all the receipts and documentation, but I sit with him on a quarterly basis. And he's a property investor himself, so not only does he talk to a lot of his customers who are investors, but he invests himself. So again, we can speak the same language. A real estate agent tend to invest in certain areas or regions. I rarely have more than one. I talk to a lot of agents all the time, but if I'm going to invest in an area, I find somebody I get on well with. They got to be an investor themselves. I got to get on with them personally. I got to like their style. They're usually a top performer. They're either going to be, a top 1 or 2 in an area. Because as I explained some other tips of circle of influences, I understand how their job works and how to get the best deals before anybody else. And the way you're going to find that is have a good relationship with your real estate agent. They're going to know about deals that come up well before they're even listed. And somebody else on that team that's not always listed is a mentor or someone, a sounding board. And this definitely has to be somebody who's an investor, someone who's been through the same experiences you have, experienced the same emotions you've had, the ups and downs. Someone who really gets you. This can be a friend, a mentor, your partner, whether it's a life partner or a work partner. Someone that you can actually discuss what's going on in your business and going on with you to keep you motivated, to keep you focused on what needs to be done. And the other person having your team is a financial planner. Now, this is someone who takes a longer-term view of what you're doing. They give you some short-term advice, but this is someone that you really need to share where your objective is, where you want to go. And they're looking at your retirement years, no matter how old you are at the time, and how to best maximize and prepare you and your circumstances. Again, in my situation, this has to be an investor themselves. Can't be someone who's just working for a commission. Again, there's a lot of people that call themselves financial advisors, and sometimes they're just people who work for the bank that give you some advice. But I'd stay away from anyone that represents a particular company, because you'll find out that everything they advise you to do is products that they sell and get a commission as their own products. The type of financial planner I use, I pay him to manage my portfolio. So he gets paid by me, a percentage of the money that he's managing for me. If he does get any commissions, it's transparent and it lets me know what that is and why that is. But as a rule, he is legally responsible to make decisions that are in my best interest. And so if he puts me into a investment that he got a commission on but really wasn't suitable for my position in life, I could turn around and sue him for commercial damages. And again, this is an important person you really need to be able to get on with and trust. I trust my financial planner implicitly. He has access to move my money whenever he deems necessary. He knows me very well. I've been with him for a long time. He knows my situation, how I think. And over the years, initially he explained everyone to me. But at the stage now, I'm happy for him to manage my paper assets any way he deems fit, because he's an expert in that area. And I've already dabbled in that and compared my outcomes to his outcomes. He's always done better. So when it comes to paper assets and some of my overall financial planning, I just leave that to him. That's my team. Those are the type of people that you want on your team. Your situation can be quite different. You can have stockbrokers, other things. It depends on what your investment strategies are and what you're going to do. But fundamentally, you need to have a mortgage broker to organize, to make sure you're getting the best out of all your loans and to get finance for future investments. You need an accountant to keep everything legal and structured. You need a financial planner. You need a good real estate agent. So I hope you found that useful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. You can contact me directly on workingclasswealthcreations@gmail.com or through my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and of course my website, workingclasswealthcreations.com. So until next time, this is Rick Ward, your guide to a better financial future.